We may all be living in our fucking car soon, so you better watch the hell out of this series. Anyways, I'm in my office mode. This is going to be the tour of the Prius. I think it's version 5.0. For those of you who might have stumbled across this from the Nomad world, I'm a part-time Nomad now, and I've hit the road for about a month. And I'm now in the Prius, living in the Prius, so to speak. So this is going to be the tour video. And I also want to talk a bit about how I plan to do this on a budget, how I plan to make it as epic as possible. And so let's just fucking jump into it. First of all, as a former military member, I have a free pass to all national parks. It's assuming they don't want me to get certain things put in my body in order to go in there. You know, you can figure that out however you want. But that being said, assuming that that's not a requirement, I'm going to go see some national parks. My first destination so far is tentatively, I had to slow down on that one, is going to be Yellowstone National Park. However, but there are going to be stops along the way, but that's my first major destination. For example, tomorrow I'm stopping at Letchworth State Park. I haven't left New York yet entirely. I want to stop, and I've never been to Letchworth, so I wanted to stop. It's along the way. I'm kind of taking off the beaten path because I don't want to pay any tolls. I'm trying to make this as sustainable as possible. Like, I'm even testing out these handy-dandy window screens for when I can find shady places to park, or when it's a cool evening and I don't want to run the car. However, there will be a lot of running the car, mainly because I need to charge the Jackery. But we'll get to the tour in a minute. I plan on saving money on this trip as far as making it as cheap as humanly possible. First step to that will be alternate day fat fasting, as in I will only eat food every other day. Whether or not that's keto, we'll see. If it gets to the point where cooking's a big pain in the ass, then I'll just fall off keto. And I should be alright every other day, or maybe if I go off keto, I'll throw in extra water fast days. Because you're not supposed to really combine fat fasting with a standard American diet. Not unless you want one of them fucking heart attacks with a large fry and a fucking 64-ounce big gulp. Along the way, I'll stop at all kinds of places, parks and whatnot. You know, if I ever feel... I'm in a hurry, but I'm not in a hurry. So, we'll see. I'm probably going to cut across South Dakota. But I'm going to run I-70, I think, for a while. To avoid tolls, mainly. That's the goal. I don't want to go anywhere near fucking Chicago and Minneapolis and on any of those fucking... I've done that before, and it's a fucking nightmare, and I don't want to fucking do that. So I'm going to stick to the more rural roads. The interstates I know are not as congested for the most part. You know, I might have to go through St. Louis or something like that, but I'll do that like at a time of day where it's not too bad. But other than that, my journey has begun. So, and as far as sleeping arrangements, I am in full stealth capability, and I can pull over at rest areas, Walmarts. If I'm feeling really fucking frisky, I can go to hotel parking lots, or apartment complex parking lots, or street parking, or the options are limitless. And that's only to sleep, though. You know, during the day. Like right now, I'm at a public park. They tend to close. They're free for the most part, and they tend to close at sunset. So what I'll do is, I'll show you how I convert to bed mode. But I generally will convert my shit to bed mode before I leave here, so that all I have to do when it comes time to go to bed is find a place to park, and without getting out of my car, stealth up and climb in the back and go to bed. As far as my chilling or messing around on a laptop or editing video or whatever the fuck it is I do for fun on this trip, that's involved in sitting in the car, that'll all be done at like a spot like this. I stop at a park. I stop at I pay my $5 to $10 to go into state parks, or I'll go to national parks and spend the day there doing whatever, just chilling, hiking, whatever. Or if I'm having a work on video day, just park there, have my meals, cook. I've got my cooking capability. I've got everything out here I need to survive. I do need some more groceries at some point. I pretty much just brought stuff because I'm planning on fasting tomorrow, so I didn't want to buy groceries because I'll be tempted to eat them, I think. I don't know. We'll see. It's been a while since I've been on alternate day fasting, but that'll be another fucking video later. First, let's talk about my Prius setup from the inner office perspective. I've got a bunch of water, plenty of legroom. The front seats in the Priuses go really far forward, and they're pretty awesome. I've got the window covers this time. This is a new addition that allows me to pretty much not have to run the car all the time, even though I'll likely run it at night to recharge my Jackery. But we'll get to that in a minute. I've got these 4 Walmart totes that have everything I need, essentially. They have my clothes, my fucking food utensils, dry food and stuff is all in there. Basically, it has everything I need to live. It's camping, essentially. One of them is dedicated to clothes. I opted out of bringing a large bag of clothes like I usually do, simply because I wanted to bring my backpack so I can go hiking, which is the biggest pain in the ass in this small car, is the fucking backpack, because it takes up so much space. But it's probably, I just sleep beside it at night once I put it in bed mode. So anyways, my backpack is here for backpacking. It's really going to be not an intensely interesting tour because I went fairly minimalist. So down here under the seat, I have these clamps, which you can buy at fucking Lowe's, and I use that at night to basically hold the curtains together, so that I get full privacy. And speaking of curtains, up here we've got bungee cord hooked to all oh shit handles, and that allows me to have these curtains that I bought at Walmart, black curtains. So at night I close them in, and that makes it so you can't see my ass laying in here for the most part, unless you really look. I mean really look. Speaking of which, so as you can see, I got plenty of room for stealth mode. Limo tint on the rear windows. Now you can kind of see in if you put your face up to it, but from a distance you can't see jack shit. Particularly when there's light shining in, it will reflect, which is why my bedding and myself, everything's covered with black sheets or black blankets. So I already showed you the window screens. So here's my power station down here, and it's doing pretty good. It's fully charged because I've been driving. I've got my coffee maker and basically everything I need to have full power. It's at 37 degrees. This is the LBRY. It's basically a cheaper version of a refrigerator. Very, very good. I've had it almost a year now. It does the job. It keeps the food cold even when the car warms up, which I try to park in the shade, which is another key fucking thing to do. So from the other side, you can see the 4 bins and how they lay and everything. Nothing real fucking super interesting. Back here, I've got this. I need to find a better way to do dishes because this is kind of takes up a lot of fucking room. But for now, that's where I do dishes, and I dry them out. I use water and shit here and there. And this is my folding foam mattress, which you can find on Amazon. I'm not a sponsor or sponsored by any of these motherfuckers, but it is the perfect size. It folds up so that I can easily put this into office mode and sit in there and do my laptop or just chill and whatever. And then when I'm ready to lay down, I just convert it to bed mode, which I'll do before I leave here today. As for bathroom, you might be saying, well, how do you go to the bathroom, motherfucker? Well, most of the time I park near a bathroom if I have to take a shit. If I'm in the woods, I've had to shit in the woods, I'll shit in the woods if I have to. Generally, I'll figure it out, but I'm not going to be shitting in my car. However, sometimes in the middle of the night, being old as I'm getting, you have to pee. Well, I've mastered over the years of being a truck driver of peeing in these, and it used to be a dangerous proposition. There was a 25% chance when I first started out of me missing the hole and piss going everywhere. I have since mastered it, as in I can put, fill these up, and then I throw them away at my next possible destination. That's it, and that's it. I leave pee bottles all over the country in the trash. It's no different than people putting their dog shit in there or whatever the fuck else, or dirty diapers, or, you name it. So, there's that. Other than that, that's really it, I did bring water shoes that I keep in the back so that if I need to get out of the car, because I keep the dirty shoes up front and then I keep the water shoes back here, which are a lot cleaner. That way if I need to get out and get in, I don't necessarily have to do the climb. However, if I need to get out without drawing attention to myself, I've mastered the art of converting to bed mode or converting back to office mode. Basically without leaving the car. I can climb up into the front and do all of that. As for defense, I've got the rusty hammer under my seat. I've got a pretty nice knife. I do not carry a firearm, so chances are if somebody comes at me with a gun, I'm done. But hopefully that doesn't happen. I'd like to think the world is mostly a good place, unless you park in certain bad places, which I won't. But, that being said, that's pretty much all there is to it. I'll sit up front and watch videos on my phone through the Bluetooth. Speakers go in here. I hook via an aux cable. I can hook my laptop to the Prius's audio system. And, if I need a bigger screen or more laid back or doing my laptop thing, that's screaming kids. Wow. Damn. Picked a bad spot. But, that's all there is to it. I just fucking live my life. And the goal for this trip, I do not want to go over $800 total for a month. That's pretty slim. Now, $800, I'm not counting food in that. That'll be a separate expense, but it'd be interesting to know how much it will cost me for the month for what I'm doing. Obviously, you could make this a lot less expensive if you choose not to, do all the things I'm doing. I'm going to all these national parks, which for most people costs a lot of money. Not a lot of money, but it's a decent amount of money. But my lodging is free. My food, as long as I don't eat out all the time, between the intermittent alternate day fasting and basically buying groceries at the grocery store, the cheap stuff, you know, eggs, ground beef, that kind of stuff. Occasionally a ribeye if I can find one that isn't inflated, you know. And yeah, this is how we beat inflation. Believe it or not, some people are like, oh, you're, you know. Now, take into account what the average person spends on a vacation of this magnitude, to where I'm going to all these national parks. You're going to have hotels, you're going to have campground fees, which I plan on avoiding. Now, that's not to say I might not spoil myself if I'm doing good on the budget. I might hit a campground, but a cheap one, if I can find one. But for the most part, I don't need to. I know at Yellowstone, I can go in, spend the day at the park, unless I need to get an overnight backpacking permit, which I might, which might cost me some money. I don't know if that counts with my free card. You know, other than that, I don't anticipate. I can pull out to the town and park on the street and spend the night there. So, you know, that's basically the plan. Yeah. So after that, I'm tentatively, there's that word again, struggled with it, tentatively going to do the Grand Tetons. Then, depending on how hot it looks, I might make a shot down to the Grand Canyon. So, and then work my way back east via the Rocky Mountains. And, you know, so I'll be spending a decent chunk of time going through Utah, in and out of Utah, which is one of my favorite states. It's very beautiful, also very hot though, so we'll see how that goes. So this will be an ultimate test. This will be the longest period of time now, not in a vehicle, because I was trucking for 15 years, and a great many of those years were spent living in the truck. But this will be my longest stint in the Prius. So will I get sick of it quick? Who the fuck knows? I don't know. You know, it is what it is. But it's nice to not have this, like, I don't have anything really driving me back until September, that's pulling me back to New York, other than, you know, family, friends, and relationship, obviously. But as far as commitments, I don't have any hard commitments until the middle of September, so I can take my time. If I stay out a little over a month, that happens, or I might get sick of this and be like, fuck this shit, and cut it short and make a beeline back home. But we'll see. My goal is 30 days, and my goal is to do it with alternate day fasting. Whether or not I stay keto during the alternate day fasting part. The alternate day fasting part I'm sticking to, but whether or not I stay keto is going to depend greatly on food availability, prices. You know, if I have to go cheap, you can't go cheap and be keto. It's just not, it's not in the cards. And then I'll have to spend the next couple months recovering, depending on that. But I'm hoping that the fasting would offset any damage I do with some of that shitty food that I might be eating. So let me know what you think in the comments. As for the collaboration, I have as yet not heard anything back on that. I might reach out. There's another YouTuber I might reach out to in the Nomad community to see about a meetup or, you know, collaboration there. But I'll let you know at the end of the trip who the collaboration was and why it didn't come to pass. And we'll see. You know, it's nice to be able to do this. I'm very, like, I felt so peaceful. I'm just driving the rural roads through these small towns in western New York on my way to Letchworth, instead of taking the interstate. That's something you wouldn't do in a tractor trailer. And that's, I don't know, I was enjoying it. I wasn't in a hurry. I was pacing myself, and now I'm at a nice park. If I want to stop and go shopping or get a coffee, I can do so in these small little towns, and, you know, go from there. That's it for this fucking video. If you like my shit, and you want me to make more shit, please like and subscribe, and head to ScottTheTruckDriver.com and leave a tip in the virtual tip jar. Also, you can go to that same website, ScottTheTruckDriver.com, sign up for my free email list, and I will try and email you when I go live. Now, there's a caveat to that. Sometimes it's hard while out here to get to my website to update it and send out emails, but I'm going to try. I still suggest you subscribe, ring the bell, and tick always notify you on YouTube, because that's going to be my main streaming while I'm out here. And there might but just be days where I can't really schedule a stream. So this is kind of your heads up that I will be streaming occasionally while I'm out on the road. And I'll be doing it with my phones on YouTube. So there's that. So if you want some fucking live streams, come with me on this journey. There's going to be lots of adventures. There's going to be lots of, I don't know. We'll see. You know, I'm going to talk about everything I do to do this on this budget, in case it's something you want to do. I mean, you don't have to be a full-blown, full-time fucking nomad to do this thing. Now, you do have to, you know, be relatively debt-free, probably a minimalist, and have enough free time if you're going to do something. But you could do it for a couple of weeks on your 2-week vacation or whatever, and save tons of money, and, in my opinion, get a greater variety to the experience, because you're going to end up off the beaten path, especially if you just kind of do it leisurely like I am and saying, wow, what do we got along this road? And, you know, sometimes it's just Google Maps telling me where shit is, and I'm like, well, let's check that out. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But bottom line, it's going to be a nice vacation, a nice getaway, and it gets me away from all the problems. Like, I watched Cuomo's shit today. I know, I've told you I'm not going to do it, but I did. And I'm really starting to sweat these certain things that are these mutated things that they're talking about. Not that I'm afraid of these things, because I'm not. But there's a push to take our freedom away even more, and I'm not on board for that. So the less time I'm in New York, this is probably my last chance to really do this before we lock down again. I think we're going to lock down again by the end of the year. The way things are going and the way the narrative's going, you know, and I'm not going to do it. You know, I don't have to. I have the freedom to hop in this thing and go where I want. And I know that there's a bunch of states that have already committed to not fucking with us anymore. And if I have to go there, then I have to go there. You know, and Sleepy Joe will just have to make his rules, you know, wherever. As long as and then I won't go to federal shit, you know. So I'm hoping that the national parks aren't on board with certain things yet. But I'm not holding my breath. I'm going to try and do this whole trip without putting shit over my face. You know, even though I brought it with me just in case. But it's the shirt, the see-through. I brought the cut sheet. You'll see it if I have to wear it, which I hope I don't. But I'm going to try not to. And in fact, I won't go to a business that requires it, or even if one of these national parks really wants to crack down, I might avoid that as well. Just 'cause I'm tired of this shit, and you know, I'll roll the dice. You know, it's here to stay, people. You know what I'm talking about. It's here to stay. I got to be all fucking vague and shit. They got to come up with it. You know, remember vague booking? They got to come up with a fucking term for doing that on YouTube. Vague tubing. Yeah, vague tubing. I want a quarter every time someone uses that term. So that's it for this video. Look forward to more fucking road shit. There's more road shit coming. Also, as far as Odysee, I will probably do 1 or 2 Odysee exclusives if I need to talk about current events in the near future, as I observe them, though. I'm not going to sit here and spend my time out here immersed in current events and watching mainstream or commentators. I'm just not. So if that's what you're looking for, this is going to be a break. This entire month if I'm not personally encountering something that I have to talk about, I'm not gonna, so I'm not gonna constantly dwell on things. I'm going to try and make this an escape from all of that. Not just for me, but for those of you watching this shit, to see if I can do this, and if I can't, I'm obviously going to talk about it. Or if I run into roadblocks or places that won't serve me or stuff like that, I will let you know, because you need to know that, so you don't have to so you can, if you so choose, avoid these situations. But for me, I don't want to immerse myself in that anymore. I might check the news mid-month to see if the world's ended, but for the most part, this is a vacation. I'm going to spend my time enjoying nature, making these videos, doing walk and talks. You're going to get a lot of content. If it might not get cranked out right away, depends on uploads and internet and whatnot, but I will be filming a lot of videos for you, and I will be putting them out sequentially. In fact, later on, who knows, you'll be watching this while I'm out and about, but there might be some times where I have just absolutely no internet and I have to upload them when I get out of the no service area. So be patient. If there's a gap in videos, they're still being filmed. It's just, it might take a while to get them to you. And please, if you like this and you want me to do more of these, financially, I would need support for that. So, but that's up to you. It's not mandatory. I'm doing this. This trip is mostly paid for with Bitcoin profits. So, it's the majority of my budget came from Bitcoin profits. So I took a big profit this last little spike where we went up to 41,000 something. That's where I cashed out at for my profits. And then if it dips again, I'll buy back in, or if it keeps going up, then we'll see. We might take more profit. My goal right now is to take enough profit so that I no longer have my own money in Bitcoin. Right now I've gone from, I had $1,400 invested in Bitcoin all the way down to currently $700 is all I have invested, and it's worth more than that still. So we'll see. So this is, if I could, that'd be awesome if I could do this regularly and just be trading my way through it and not worry about having to get back in the truck. I really don't want to get back in the truck. So, but if I have to, I will. Then I'll do it short term, pile up a bunch of cash, and take another year off. Isn't this great? Work for 6, 7, 8 months, take a year off. Work for 6, 7, 8 months, take a year off. This sounds like a lifestyle I could do, because I gotta say, I haven't wanted to go back to the trucking. I just haven't. I can. I'm probably going to at some point, just to stay current, just to keep the time going, and to pile up some more cash and invest more, because if I were to go back in the truck now, I would probably invest at least 60 to 70% of my earnings into crypto. Just so that I can increase my trading profits and my volume and the amount I trade with, because I don't trade with everything that I've saved in Bitcoin. So it's thoughts and shit. And if I ever got that to the point where I could just live off of the profits, I would do it for sure. Have a nice motherfucking day and shit. Wonder which Walmart parking lot I'm going to end up in tonight. But yeah, I'm sleeping at Walmart. I'll document it too. And I'll show you bed mode in the next video. I know. One video at a time here. And show you how I spend the night. First night. Sounds like a good plan. Sounds like content and shit. And I'll go through my morning routine in the next video. and shit. I do need to get out of New York tomorrow. So after I do Letchworth, I'm out. And you'll be watching this after I've gone to Letchworth. So, yeah. Have a nice fucking day and shit. Be interesting to see if I get a knock on the window. Could happen. It's New York. It's not a very free state.